Pretty much all of our political debates take place to some extent or another online, and that means they take place under the control of a handful of big tech companies. It is therefore a huge worry that inside these tech companies, political bias is rampant. In the new book, The History of the Future, chronicles the role of politics at Facebook. According to its author, Blake Harris, employees there felt the company had, quote, failed its mission by letting Trump win in 2016. And not only that, they investigated and eventually fired company executive Palmer Luckey for the company for the sin of voting for someone they didn't support. Blake Harris joins us tonight. Blake, first of all, congrats on the book.
Thank you.
History of the Future. It's pretty inside from what I have read. It sounds like these are companies that see politics as integral to their mission.
Absolutely. You know, they had this group refocusing our mission, and after the election, they felt they'd failed in their mission. And that was sort of alarming to me a little bit. You know, I did not set out to write a book about politics at all. It's supposed to be a book about virtual reality, about Oculus, about this company that was founded by, in 2012, a 19-year-old kid named Palmer Luckey, who is this dreamer living in a trailer in Long Beach. And he starts this company. Less than 2 years later, they sell to Facebook for $3 billion. And all is going well. They're supposed to be bringing virtual reality to the world. And then in the middle of my writing this book, Palmer ends up getting fired from Facebook for reasons that don't have to do with virtual reality.
So what were the reasons?
So it started in September of 2016. That's when he was outed as a Trump supporter. And as is often the case, the news that outed him was not fully accurate. He was portrayed, you know, basically what had happened was he donated $10,000 to a political organization called Nimble America. Their mission was to put up billboards across the country. They'd only ever put up one billboard. It featured a caricature of Hillary, and it said, "Too big to jail." So, you know, real scandalous stuff there. And that led to a headline that began with one publication, the Daily Beast, saying that Facebook's billionaire was secretly funding Trump's meme machine, and that Palmer was responsible for basically every terrible thing you've seen on the internet over the past election season. That was not true. And so Palmer set out, you know, he wanted to put a statement out saying, this is not true, but it is true that I'm a Trump supporter. But that was unacceptable. It was unacceptable for him to say that he was a Trump supporter. And then actually, you know, it's always good to act early in these sorts of situations, but it took 24 hours for him to put out a statement. And the reason was because it went up the chain at Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg personally wrote a statement that Palmer ended up having to post if he wanted to keep his job. And it didn't say he was supporting Trump. It said he was planning to vote for Gary Johnson.
So what you're painting is a picture of a company that's essentially totalitarian in its outlook. It's our way or you're out. And yet they are the portal through which a huge percentage of all information flows. They control, to some large extent, our national debate. We should be concerned.
Absolutely. I'm concerned. I mean, as a bit of a disclaimer here, I am a lifelong liberal. Yeah. I voted Democrat in every election, and I actually grew up in the town where the Clintons now live. So I was pretty bummed when my neighbor lost the election. But I was even more bummed and terrified by what I was finding at Facebook.
That says a lot, and I'm thank you for saying your political orientation. I think it gives your position credibility and gives your book credibility.
Thank you.
I hope it's read by a ton of people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.